Hello, my name is Ellen Sievertson, and today I will be talking about conservation efforts in Tucson, Arizona. There are many locations where Tucson locals and visitors are able to interact with wildlife. So before we talk about conservation efforts, I will list some of them. Mount Lemmon, the Sonoran Desert, A Mountain, Sabino Canyon, neighborhood wildlife, and many others. Since there are so many different types of conservation efforts, this presentation will focus on the neighborhood wildlife conservation efforts. As this picture shows, javelina are commonly seen among neighborhoods, especially in October, because if you're an Arizona native, you know they love to eat pumpkins. Our first conservation effort is from the city of Tucson. Tucson Water, through the city of Tucson, offers various resources for its residential and business commercial customers. These conservation efforts offer many different types of incentives, a lot of which have financial gain. 3 of the residential conservation efforts are listed on this slide: the Residential Rebate and Incentive Programs, the Neighborhood Scale Green Infrastructure Program, and the Landscape Plants for Arizona Desert. The residential rebate and incentive programs offer rebates ranging from $75 to $2,000. For the high-efficiency toilet rebate, a family can receive a $75 rebate per toilet for replacing up to 2 high-efficiency toilets. For the clothes washer rebate, a family can receive $200 for purchasing a qualifying high-efficiency clothes washer. For the gray water rebate, the families can receive up to $1,000 for installing a permanent gray water irrigation system. Lastly, the rainwater harvesting rebate is up to $2,000 per property for a qualifying rainwater harvesting system. They also offer limited income toilet rebates for families who need replacement of older toilets. Neighborhood Scale Green Infrastructure Program comes from the partnership between Tucson Water and Tucson Clean and Beautiful. They partnered up to help create stormwater harvesting projects. Groups are able to apply for up to a $45,000 grant where they are able to create stormwater harvesting projects. This grant can be used towards single or multiple projects, and they're given staff to assist the neighborhood groups with the application, project site selection, and help with budgeting. Applications are accepted and placed into the queue until all of the grant fund was spent for the year. Landscape Plants for the Arizona Desert is also put out by the city of Tucson and is a guide to planning and implementing a desert-friendly landscape. It gives suggestions on which plants use less water, how to irrigate these plants, which plants work well with the Arizona soil, and many more. Business and commercial conservation was the second large topic for the city of Tucson, water conservation. The 2 main programs are Business and Commercial Rebate and Incentive Program and the Pima County Smartscape Program. Much like the residential rebate and incentive programs, the business commercial rebate and incentive programs offer rebates for high-efficiency toilets and high-efficiency urinals. They also have a Tucson audit program where companies are able to be audited for their water use and may receive money. The Pima County Smartscape program offers professional classes to professional landscapers, landscape representatives, and students alike. These classes are offered by the University of Arizona and are intended to promote the best landscaping management practices, with workshops focusing in on landscape installation and maintenance, irrigation, pest and weed control, design architecture, property management, neighborhood associations, nurseries, groundskeeping for schools, parks, multifamily, commercial, and municipal areas. And those are all that are offered thus far. The Tucson Electric Power Company, or TEP, works to promote wildlife conservation, specifically relating to various types of birds. Electrical hazards are something to be talked about in relation to birds because they interact with them in a variety of ways. TEP says that a study done at the University of Arizona found that electrical equipment should have bird guard material within 300 meters of raptor nests. This considerably decreases raptor injuries and fatalities. They also work with Wild at Heart to help build burrow habitats for displaced owls from new developments. They've been able to create artificial burrows and release tents for 2 years. This year, they're making 100 burrows and 2 release tents in Marana. Pima County Office of Sustainability and Conservation also outlines 4 objectives: the Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan, Cultural Resources and Historic Preservation Division, Sustainability Programs Division, and the Water Resources Unit. The Conservation Science Division brought forth the Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan. This plan took years to make and was the product of activists and community members working with lawmakers in Pima County in an attempt to balance the conservation and protection of cultural and natural resource heritage with economic growth. It considered the following elements: critical habitats and biological corridors, riparian areas, mountain parks, historical and cultural preservation, and ranch conservation. These were paired with fiscal analysis in order to create a land management plan for Pima County. The Cultural Resources and Historic Preservation Division has the mission to conserve and protect the cultural and historical resources of Pima County for their cultural, scientific, educational, aesthetic, and recreational values. They work to preserve ancestral Native American sites, historic colonial, Spanish, Mexican, and American sites, historic neighborhoods and buildings, and traditional cultural places. They have laws, policy, and compliancy processes where they work towards this preservation. The Sustainability Program Division has the mission to encourage and enhance sustainability practices that promote individual well-being and opportunity, sound resource conservation and stewardship, and a strong and diverse economy in our community and the region. They measure their success by the actions that are taken today, as well as the legacy for future generations. This division attempts to enhance sustainability practices by creating new programs and activities, and incorporating sustainable decisions into planning and creating new workplace, neighborhood, and community environments. As we have seen earlier, water conservation is of the utmost importance for Arizona. This is because we are in a drought. The Water Resources Unit is Pima County's answer to these issues. It provides outreach and collaboration with the external stakeholders of Southern Arizona Water Users Association, Groundwater Users Advisory Council, Safe Yield Task Force, and Conserve to Enhance. These groups act as advisors on advice on drought status changes. The Water's Resources Unit also works with reclaimed water and has 8 water reclaim facilities with different treatment processes in the utilization of effluent. It also does Conservation Effluent Pool, which is established by the City of Tucson and Pima County. It works with the water's rights and long-term storage credits. As we can see from this presentation, there are a lot of different types of conservation efforts going on for the neighborhood wildlife. These include looking at wildlife, water conservation efforts, and a lot more. This was not an exhaustive source, but many of the Tucson and Pima County offered initiatives. Thank you, and have a great day.